Today, we are going to understand a massive, invisible digital threat that is literally targeting businesses and individuals every single second of the day. Welcome to This Explainer. I am so thrilled you're here with us. We are going to look at the anatomy of digital crime, break down the actual weapons used against us, and most importantly, figure out exactly how we can recover when disaster strikes. All right, let's dive right into this. We hear about it constantly on the news, right? Major corporations getting hacked, millions of passwords leaked online, small businesses being held to ransom. It begs a highly provocative question. Why has cybercrime exploded into such an attractive global phenomenon? Why is it rising so incredibly fast everywhere we look? Well, the harsh reality is that cybercrime is unfortunately a booming business venture. Just look at the dynamics drawn directly from our source analysis. It requires an incredibly low investment to start, it carries a surprisingly low risk of physical harm or immediate arrest, yet it yields massive, high profits. Plus, attackers have global reach. They can literally sit in a coffee shop in one country and attack servers halfway across the world. And because of this near-total anonymity, they are incredibly hard to catch and prosecute. It's essentially the ultimate low-risk, high-reward illicit enterprise. So, here is our roadmap for today. 1. What is cybercrime? 2. Hackers and their types. 3. Insider versus external threats. 4. Types of cyber attacks. And 5. Disaster recovery and backups. Section 1. What is cybercrime? Defining the threat. Okay, so the absolutely crucial point here is intent. Cybercrime is any unlawful activity conducted via computer or a connected device. But notice that keyword intentionally. If an employee accidentally deletes a crucial database just because of human error, well, that's a massive security risk for sure, but it is not a cybercrime. Cybercrime is an unauthorized act driven by specific motives. The most common one, financial greed. Sometimes it's for revenge against a former employer, and disturbingly, sometimes it's just for the sheer enjoyment of causing chaos and getting recognized in the digital underworld. Section 2. Insider versus external threats. Where do these attacks actually come from? We basically have two main battlefronts here. First, we have insider attacks. These are often carried out by disgruntled former employees or maybe dissatisfied contractors. And because they already have authorized high-level access to the system, their attacks can be highly destructive. The one silver lining, they are much easier to trace because they leave digital footprints tied right to their credentials. Contrast that with external attacks. These are the complete outsiders, strangers actively battling their way through your firewalls and intrusion detection systems. They usually don't have prior access, but they are highly motivated by financial gain or, sometimes, even political motives. Now, we also categorize the sophistication of these attackers into unstructured versus structured attacks. Unstructured attacks are usually launched by beginners. They download free hacking tools off the internet, they really have no specific target in mind, and honestly, they don't always understand the severity of what they're doing. It is highly unpredictable. But a structured attack, that is a different beast entirely. These are experienced, organized, professional criminal groups. They use advanced tools, have highly planned objectives, and they know exactly what data they want to steal. Moving on to Section 3, hackers and their types. The hacker color wheel. Believe it or not all hackers are the bad guys. The spectrum is actually quite colorful. First, we have white hat hackers. These are the ethical professionals. Companies actually hire them as security consultants to intentionally try and break into their systems just to find vulnerabilities before the real criminals do. Then you have the black hat hackers. These are the criminals acting illegally to steal data, damage systems, and extort money. Right between them, we have gray hat hackers. They find security vulnerabilities without permission, which is definitely sketchy, but they don't necessarily exploit them maliciously. Sometimes they just demand a fee to tell the company how to fix it. And finally, we have blue hat hackers. These are specialists hired by organizations to aggressively test brand new systems or software upgrades right before they launch, just to ensure there are no day-one flaws. All right, Section 4. Types of cyber attacks. The weapons used. So the most common weapons you're going to encounter are viruses and ransomware. A virus is malicious code designed purely to cause damage and disrupt operations. Sometimes literally just to show off technical capability. Ransomware, however, that is purely about extortion. It infects your computer, encrypts all of your files so you can't access them, and then demands a massive payment, usually in cryptocurrency, just to unlock your own system. To give you an idea of the sheer scale of this threat, Look back at the famous 2017 WannaCry attack. This single piece of ransomware spread like wildfire. It infected hundreds of thousands of computer systems globally, across hospitals, banks, and government facilities. It was a terrifying demonstration of just how vulnerable our interconnected world truly is. Another brutal tactic is the DOS, or denial of service attack. Imagine trying to walk through a doorway, but a million fake people are trying to squeeze through at the exact same time. That is a DOS attack. The cybercriminal floods an e-commerce website or server with millions of fake requests. The system gets completely overloaded, slows to an absolute crawl, and eventually crashes, meaning genuine customers cannot access the service at all. And you know what? This actually leads to an incredible aha moment. You know those annoying little captcha boxes you have to click every single day that say, "I am not a robot"? This is exactly why they exist. When you click that box or, select all the pictures of traffic lights, you are proving to the website that you are a genuine human user and not part of an automated malicious botnet trying to execute a DOS attack. That tiny little box is literally the frontline defense against server overload. Next up, we have phishing and its mobile cousin, smishing. Now, these aren't highly technical hacks. They are psychological tricks. Phishing involves sending out fake emails that look exactly like they are from a trusted source, like Amazon, Netflix, or your bank. They'll tell you your account is blocked and urgently ask you to click a link to verify your password or credit card details. When they do this via a text message, it's called smishing. It relies entirely on tricking the user into just handing over the keys to the castle. Let's move along and see how this builds because criminals are incredibly creative. The source data outlines several other fascinating threats. You have online option fraud, where scammers sell fake mobile phones that don't even exist, take your money, and then just delete their account. Cyber squatting, where someone registers a domain name sounding exactly like a huge brand right before they launch and basically holds it hostage for millions of dollars. Or logic bombs. Actually, this one is wild. A disgruntled employee plants a secret code in the system that only detonates and deletes data after their employment is officially terminated. We also see webjacking, where a hacker takes over a website homepage to post a message. And email spoofing, which alters the header of an email so it looks like it came directly from your boss. The landscape is vast, and it is incredibly hostile. Which brings us to Section 5, Disaster Recovery and Backups. Time to build our shield. Look, every proactive business absolutely must have a strategic disaster recovery plan. If a ransomware attack wipes out your facility today, you need a step-by-step manual. This plan must detail exactly where your regular data backups are securely located. It needs precise instructions on how to rapidly procure new, clean computer systems. It must assign specific individual responsibilities to every single workforce member, so there is absolutely no panic or confusion. And finally, it has to detail exactly where and how a temporary physical premise will be set up so operations can continue. It is all about having a playbook ready before the disaster strikes. And here is a brilliant, kind of surprising secret from our sources. In this highly advanced digital age, do you know what the ultimate failsafe actually is? Paper. Literally, non-digitized hard copies of your most crucial documents. Things like contracts, critical invoices, and purchase receipts. Think about it. A hacker in a foreign country cannot remotely encrypt or delete a piece of paper sitting in a secure filing cabinet. If your primary systems and your digital backups are both destroyed, these properly secured hard copies ensure your business can still function. Sometimes, the absolute best defense against high-tech crime is no tech at all. So, we've covered the booming business of cybercrime, the different colored hats of the hacker world, the weapons they deploy, and the proactive recovery plans we need to survive it all. I want to leave you with a simple yet provocative question to reflect on. Look at your own digital life, your workplace, your personal devices. Knowing what you know now about how organized, motivated, and diverse these digital threats are, is your data truly safe today? Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer. Stay secure out there, and I will catch you in the next one.